So students, we are going to start chapter number 12, that is what if it finishes. Now in between the video, in between the discussion of this chapter, I will be asking questions that you have to answer. Few questions that I will tell you that you have to write in your EVS classwork copy. And the other question you can answer me either in the doubt clearing class or maybe in the comment section in your school website. Now what we are talking about? What if it finishes? We are talking about something like what if that thing finishes? What we will do then? Means we are talking about the energy sources. Means the fuel. Fuel, the fuel. What if the energy source or the power source that we are getting from our planet Earth finishes? What we will do then? Let's start with the chapter. A bus journey. Today we were going on a school trip to the Adlaj stepwell, that is the Baoli. About stepwell you already have learnt in your previous chapter. What is a stepwell? There is a picture also. Now about 18 kilometers from Ahmedabad. This is situated where? From Ahmedabad it takes 18 kilometers. We began counting the vehicles on the road. Some of us counted the bicycles, others counted the buses, cars and motorcycles. Abraham, who was counting bicycles, soon got bored. There were hardly any bicycles on the highway. Because that's why he got bored. There were hardly, means almost no bicycle on the highway. Screech! The driver suddenly brakes at the red light. It was a big crossing. Now when you put on the brake, a kind of a noise comes, that is screech. Okay, and we could see the traffic lined up on all sides. Honk honk, the sound of loud horns and smoke coming out of the vehicles. There was so much noise and so much smoke coming out of the vehicles. Maybe that is why a little boy in a rickshaw was coughing so much. I smelled something familiar. I remember the smell, it came from Baba's tractor in the village. Now he is talking about the smell of the smoke coming out of the vehicles. Means the pollution, the polluted air that we all are breathing. Because if you see your surrounding, there are so many vehicles. There is so less rickshaw and cycle. Means there is so much use of diesel and petrol, and from where the smoke comes out. If we use the rickshaw and cycle, we are using our own energy. There is no smoke coming out of it. But we are using the vehicles that create pollution. Now look at the picture on page number 110 and write. I will be showing you the picture that you can also see in your book. From looking at the picture, you have to answer the following question that I will be asking. It is also there in your book. You can read it from there also. So we will be discussing after seeing this picture. Now from this picture, what can you see? You can see so many cars, buses, bikes, scooter, and you can hardly see a cycle and a rickshaw. Like I can see few. Now let's see what questions are being asked. What are the different kinds of vehicles that you can see? Okay, so according to you, how many kind of vehicles are there? What do you think they need petrol and diesel as fuel? Do you think they need petrol and diesel, or like all of the vehicles, or maybe some of the vehicles? What do you think? Which of the vehicle do you think give off smoke? Put a red mark on those. So put a red mark on the picture of the vehicle that you think give off smoke. like smoke will come out from that vehicle. Next, which are the vehicles run without petrol and diesel? In the picture, what vehicles you have seen that run without petrol and diesel? And what problem do we face from speeding vehicle? Like suppose a vehicle is speeding, have crossed the limit of the speed, what will happen? Accidents, mishaps. Mishaps means anything which is bad, like accidents will happen. Next, do you ride a bicycle? If yes, where all do you go on it? Yes, using a bicycle is very good for the environment also and for your health also. How do you come to school? How do your family members go to work from home? What problems can we have from smoke coming out of the vehicles? What kind of problem do we have? Like health problems, pollution, environmental disasters, and what more? What kind of problem can we face from the noise of vehicles, that is the honking of the vehicle, like sound pollution and so many health hazards. Health hazard means health damage because of the loud noise. Next, on the petrol pump. They have gone to the petrol pump and let's see what they observe. After some time, our bus stopped at a petrol pump. There was a long queue. Queue is the long line of people, of vehicles or anything. It is called the queue. Waiting line is queue. There was a long queue. It seemed as if we would have a long wait. They have to wait for really long. We all got down from the bus and started looking around the petrol pump. We saw many large boards and posters. Like if you go to a petrol pump, you will see few boards and posters about saving the fuel and saving petrol and diesel. I think most of you have seen it even around the highways or around the roads, the kind of posters. One example is given here. Look at the screen. Here it is written like petrol and diesel will not last forever. Save it for your children. Means you have to save it for the future. Make every drop go a long way. You have to make every drop usable. Use every drop wisely. Switch off the engine when you stop the car. When you are stopping the car, switch off the engine so that it will save the fuel. It will save the energy of that vehicle, of that car. Now, as per 2017, 13th of July, the rate of petrol and diesel is given. Petrol is rupees 64.91 per litre and diesel was rupees 54.70 per litre. But as far as 2020, it has increased like anything. Like if you see the price of petrol and diesel, it is now sky high. It is touching the sky. That much costly it has become. Because it is limited. Yes, we could not understand why it was written that petrol and diesel will not last forever. Just like these children also, you must be having the same question. Why they will not last forever? We thought of asking an uncle who works at the petrol pump. Abraham: Uncle, from where do we get petrol and diesel? Uncle, who works at the petrol pump. From deep, deep down under the ground. Manju: But how does it get made there? Uncle: It is formed naturally but very slowly. It is not made by human beings or a machine. Yes, it is made naturally but very slowly. Abram: Then we don't need to buy it. We can take it out ourselves using a borewell like we pump out water. Uncle, it is not found everywhere, but only a few places in our country. We need big machines to pump it out and clean it. Yes, to form petrol or to form the natural fuel that we have on our earth, it takes hundred of years to bring to the same level. Like if we dug it out, it cannot be renewed means it cannot be taken away. Like that means it is limited source of energy. Suppose you are taking away the natural resources like petrol from the mother earth, but the same amount of petrol will take at least 100 of years to be formed again naturally. And we humans cannot make petrol naturally, even with machineries. It is impossible to make till now. Now you must be thinking, what is fuel? A fuel is a substance that is changed in some way to produce heat, electricity, or other forms of energy. This is usually by being burnt. When you burn the fuel, you will get energy from it. Although there are exceptions. Yes, like such as nuclear fuel. Nuclear fuel is something different. Now fuel can be divided into two main types, fossil fuel and other fuel. Fuel can be divided into two main types. Fossil fuel. Now what is fossil fuel? I will be discussing in this video only. The next slide you will see what is fossil fuel. And the other fuel like the solar energy, the nuclear fuel or the nuclear energy, all this comes under the other fuels. And the fossil fuel are the fuel that we get from the nature, and it is made naturally in the nature by spending 100 of years. We cannot make it manually. Human beings cannot make the natural fossil fuel that we get from Mother Earth. There are some examples of the fossil fuel like the coal, petroleum, etc. Now you must be asking, ma'am, what are fossil means? Fossil fuel, you will be seeing the next slide. Over there I have discussed. Now here you can see fossil fuels are fuels that come from very old life forms that decomposed over a long period of time. Now what is decomposed? Decomposed means breaking down. When anything we dump in soil or in the nature, something which can be broken down by the microorganisms, they get extracted, they get submitted somewhere, and then after hundreds and hundreds of years it become fossil fuel. The three most important fossil fuels are coal, petroleum and natural gas. Coal is mostly carbon. It is made up mostly with carbon. These fuels are called fossil fuel. Why? Because they are dug up from the underground. They are dug up from the earth, from the underground. That's why they are the fossil fuel. Fossil word means the very old form of life, or you can say very old form of something is called fossil. So fossil fuels are called this because they are dug up from the underground. And remember, the three most important fossil fuels are coal, petroleum and natural gas. And here we will be talking about petroleum. Like what is petroleum and from where diesel come. Now both are related with each other, and I will be showing you a picture in this video, that then I will be asking you that from where it comes. Now here we are talking about petrol. It is also known as gasoline. Okay, gasoline or petrol is a toxic. Toxic means a little poisonous, clear liquid that is mostly used as a fuel in internal combustion engine. Combustion means something which can take up fire, that take up energy from the fire or from the heat. Internal combustion engine. It is made by boiling petroleum, a fossil fuel. You can say it comes from boiling the petroleum, and then distillation process of petroleum is heated to a very high temperature. Now distillation process is a process where petroleum is heated. Petroleum is heated and then the components, the mixture of that petrol is made up of with many things. Then that mixture is being separated, like from there diesel comes out, then other molecules of that comes out, like diesel oil or diesel fuel is a type of fuel for cars. Basically it is used for cars. It is also an oil used for an energy source. But from where it comes? It is made from petroleum and from various other sources. Similarly, when petrol is heated up, when it is distilled, then we can get so many variety of fuel and so many variety of components from there. It is named after Rudolf Diesel, who in 1892 invented the diesel engine. His name was Rudolf Diesel. That's why, because he invented the diesel engine for the very first time, that's why the diesel oil, the oil is known as diesel oil or diesel fuel. It comes from the petroleum family only. So you can say that petroleum and diesel are closely connected with each other. Now here in this picture you can see so many kind of vehicles. Some are flying, some are running, some are floating on water. Now you need to tell me which kind of vehicle that you can see in the screen runs on what kind of energy. Like for example, I will say this car can run on diesel. Bicycle can run on human energy, or like if I am riding the bicycle, with my energy the bicycle will run. Similarly, the different kind of vehicle you need to answer that by what kind of energy they actually work. Like the hot air balloon. The hot air balloon is flying upon the sky, but by what energy? What kind of fuel or what kind of energy it is using to work? Similarly, the ship that you can see that is floating on the water, what kind of energy it is using? The aeroplane, the trains, the helicopters, or you can say the buses, the trucks, etc. Now here is the question that you are going to answer, that you can write down in your EVS copies also. Which states of India have oil fields? Beside oil, what else is found deep inside the earth? We all know we can find oil deep inside the earth, but beside oil, what else is found? Find out the traffic rules and discuss them. We should use petrol and diesel judiciously. Judiciously means lawfully, according to the law and order. We should use petrol according to the law and order. Think about it. Why? Why we should use it according to the law, order and system? It should be systematic because it is very limited. We cannot get petrol and diesel from the nature whenever we want, because it is limited source. It will take hundreds and hundreds of years to make it again in the natural form. And human beings, as human beings, if we finish it, then there will be nothing left for the future generation. Now let's discuss it further. Divya, is petrol going to finish? The poster said that petrol is not going to last forever. Uncle, it does not get made as fast as we take it out. It takes lakhs of years for it to be formed under the earth. That's why I said hundreds and hundreds, lakhs of years to form it under the earth. Abraham, how will vehicle run if the oil finishes? You also think if the oil finishes, how all the vehicles will run? Manju, on CNG, I had seen it on TV that vehicles run on CNG give less smoke. Uncle laughingly said, that too comes from below the earth. It is also limited. Yes, CNG, that is the compressed natural gas, also comes from inside the earth, which is also a limited source of energy. Divya, electricity can be used to run vehicles. I have seen an electric bicycle. Abraham, we will have to do something, or else how will we travel when we grow up? Divya, my daddy, grandmother, would be happy if fewer vehicles run on the road. She says, look, vehicles line up like ants. What will you do when you grow up? Yes, there is so much traffic when you go out of your home because there are so many vehicles on the road. Are they really needed? Like in a vehicle, maybe one or two human beings are being sitting. So why don't we use the public transportation like trains and buses? Manju, see, only one or two people are sitting in these cars. Why doesn't everyone use a bus? Abraham, that will save petrol. One bus can carry many people. Yes, you can take the public transport any day. But when you are using your own car or vehicle, you are not only spending too much of diesel and petrol but also making pollution. Now, there is the discussion about the solar energy. Now, what is solar energy? You all must be thinking. Here in the screen, or you can see the top uses for solar energy. Solar energy is the energy that we get from the sun. We can make electricity out of it. We can take heat from the solar energy. Like some examples you can see: power the fans, heat the swimming pool, heat the home water, charging the batteries. You can also cook with the solar power, that is the heat and light from the sun you can use as a fuel, as a power, as a source of energy. My question for you is, what are the other uses of solar energy? How can you use the solar power or solar energy in your day-to-day life? And give me few examples that where you can use solar energy which will also benefit the environment. Not only your health but also the environment will be benefited. So for this video, this many discussions and questions. For the next video, stay tuned. Thank you. Stay safe and study hard.